Thousands of supporters of an extremist group protested in Karachi last week, calling Shia Muslims infidels and chanting anti-Shia slogans. After a televised speech of a Shia preacher was deemed abusive towards Islamic figures, the rally continued for 2 days. Sectarian conflict in Pakistan isn't new, it's been there for decades. But nowadays, extremist groups have social media at their disposal.
In Pakistan, it's a very worrying situation where anti-Shia sectarianism tended to exist on the fringes amongst armed groups, and now it seems to be something that is taking hold very dangerously in the mainstream.
Days before the rally, hashtag Shia Enemy of Islam Pakistan was trending, pushed by the supporters of the extremist ideology, and a lot of its impressions came from Indian accounts. It's not the first time Pakistanis have flagged violent language on social media.
We have actually found out that this whole thing is orchestrated and not organic. But the fact of the matter is that the government of Pakistan has been very vigilant about it. We have arrested at least 87 people for the hate speech crime. We have detained 43 people. About 4,000 websites that were promoting hate speech on different sectarian issues, they have been reblocked.
Criticized as arbitrary, the digital media regulations aim to hold platforms responsible for hate speech and extremist content. But trends targeting minorities still emerge every other week. In the West, social media platforms are held accountable for hate speech, but in Pakistan, they're often active collaborators.
Now, for the social media companies to get any link down, we have to request these social media companies. Only then we can get any link down. But many of the times, what happens is that they don't comply with the request, and this gets further challenging when we particularly see that much of the activity, something like hate speech, something fake news done to create panic and public disorder, is created from outside Pakistan. Where obviously our agencies don't have any, our law enforcing agencies doesn't have any jurisdiction. So we are totally reliant on the social media companies to show compliance with it.
Pakistan's population is more than 220 million, but social media platforms operating there are still mostly based in India, making it difficult to effectively moderate Pakistani content. And not far from Pakistan, in Myanmar, the world has witnessed what can happen when American social media firms have lax to no policies for local content. Facebook was found to have helped facilitate the alleged genocide of the Rohingya. Something the authorities are obviously very concerned does not get repeated in any way in a Pakistani context.
We've seen what happens in the failure when social media companies fail to take action. So we hope they really look at this quite seriously and stop there from being a double standard when there is greater scrutiny of when it comes to far right and dangerous groups and extremist groups in the US as compared to the ones in South Asia.
Imran Khan's government has called on Facebook and others to open permanent offices in the country, relying on the large multinationals to do the right thing and help to stop the weaponization of their platform.